So with Cedar Point recently announcing their tilt coaster, it feels like every park is getting something new for the 2025 season. But some of these are just basic additions to parks, or just setbacks from 2024, but some of the coasters coming next year are going to be record-breaking. So in today's video, we're going to rank the 10 best of these rides. These are the top 10 coasters coming in 2025, ranked from worst to best. Starting off this list, we have one of many record breakers, which is Wrath of Rakshasa, coming to Six Flags Great America. This will be a record-breaking B&M dive coaster, and in my opinion, it looks like it's going to be the best. It's going to feature 5 inversions, the most of any dive coaster, which is awesome, because while most dive coasters look fun, they lack a complete layout, and I think that Rakshasa will solve that problem. The drop also looks incredible, standing 180 feet tall and having the steepest drop of any dive coaster at 96 degrees. And I'm especially happy about this drop, because after Dr. Diabolical, Emperor, and Iron Menace, I thought that dive coasters were only going to get smaller, but Rakshasa will finally be getting close to the 200-foot mark, and will hopefully be one of the best coasters of 2025. Next up, we have our number 9 coaster, which is Tera, a B&M wing coaster coming to King's Dominion. This is a replacement to the Forever Mist Volcano, and while I think this ride looks good, I have some questions. The first is, why would King's Dominion replace an Intamin inverted launch coaster with a wing coaster, when Gertschlauer just made their prototype inverted launch, and it's great? I know that Cedar Fair has a better relationship with B&M, and Gertschlauer might be pretty unreliable, but still. But overall, I still think that this ride looks good. The launch looks punchy, and a lot of the inversions look really solid. And I love the airtime hills on both Valraven and Gatekeeper, so I'm sure this one will be just as good. And overall, I think that this coaster looks solid and will really help round up King's Dominion's lineup. Now for our number 8 spot, I have Palindrome coming to Codaland in Austin, Texas, which is also an up-and-coming park that will open in 2025. Now, I feel like this coaster, and basically this whole park, has been teased forever but has never been built, but now we're finally getting it. This is a very quirky Gertschlauer Infinity coaster that will feature a vertical lift, a stall over a road, and a spike with a weird airtime pop added into it. And I think that this coaster will honestly be a solid ride, with the drop having some nice airtime, the stall being loaded with hang time similar to Monster at Adventureland. And not only will this stall be a great element to the ride, but imagine not knowing that this ride exists and going for a drive to see a roller coaster stalling above you. That will bring in a lot of crowds. And along with the tilt coaster, I think that the GP will absolutely love this park, and will make Codaland a theme park destination for 2025. Up next, in the number 7 spot, I have put another delayed coaster, and that is the Flash Vertical Velocity, coming to Six Flags Great Adventure. This is a coaster that I think will be underrated and have a well-rounded layout, which is weird to say for a Vekoma boomerang. All the launches look incredible, and both the spikes seem like they offer great weightlessness sensations, and man, do they look incredible. Some of the airtime and hang time moments also look great, and the fact that you get to experience it all backwards is also out of this world. And hopefully, this coaster will start a revolution of Vekoma Super Boomerangs all around the world, because they are not only compact and thrilling, but GP magnets, and can easily bring in the crowds. And overall, I hope Flash doesn't get delayed again, because this looks like it'll be one of the best coasters of 2025. Now for our number 6, we have Fire Runner, an RMC single rail coming to Lost Island in Iowa. This will be a clone of Stunt Pilot, and I'm so happy for this ride, because I think Lost Island looks like a great small park, and if they keep adding coasters like they have been, then this park could have a great top 2, and it already holds so many little gems, and it could become a major destination for theme park road trips for enthusiasts. But back to the coaster. I think that the fiery theme fits right in with the other rides and attractions at the park, and the ride will also be world class. While I've never personally been on a single rail, they look absolutely incredible, with some insane airtime and the pacing looking cartoonish. And I think that after this, the next step would be to add a family gravity group, or maybe even a B&M looper to the park. But overall, I think that it's a great fit for this park. And with Montugani, it will give this park a very strong top 2. and will be a great fit for Lost Island. Next up is probably the hottest take of the video, which is my number 5 Alpen Fury, coming to Canada's Wonderland. And I know that a lot of people would put this in their top 3, or maybe even at their number 1 spot, but hear me out. This coaster does look like it has its perks. The launches look really good, and blasting out of the non-inverting top hat looks crazy, and so does this stall. And I know it's weird, but for me the best element looks to be the turnaround. It reminds me of what Fury does with the treble clef, and the way they mix the roll and the turn is just a design masterpiece. But the main problem I have with this coaster is repetition. A lot of people say that Steel Vengeance can feel repetitive, and I think that this coaster will get the same criticism. It just all seems like roll after roll after roll after roll, and the fact that the trains will have comfort collars will really hurt this ride. Hopefully, they can go the icebreaker route and get rid of them, but that doesn't seem likely. And the new age Premier trains also won't help with the capacity, since it will only have 2 of them, which will make the lines unbearably long. Oh boy, I can't wait to see the 5-hour line on this opening day. But overall, while I have basically only been talking bad about this ride, I still think it looks like it'll have some solid forces. It'll be a great addition to 2025. For my number 4 coaster, I have a ride that kinda came out of nowhere and we still know very little about, which is Yoi, coming to Walibi Holland. This looks like a dueling RMC Raptor, and I think that it'll be the best one. Probably because the number 1 complaint that the Raptor model gets is either the restraints or the ride duration, and this fixes the second one. If it's dueling, it'll be twice as much ride, and if the track connects like Twisted Colossus, this will be a phenomenal coaster. However, I hope that this is 2 separate tracks, because my dream for this attraction is that it has a family side and a thrill side, because I think that would just be so perfect, and the first true family RMC. And like I said, we haven't got too much knowledge about this coaster and what it will be like, so we don't know much about what we can see, or if it'll follow Twisted Colossus's footsteps. But what we do know is that it has a high 5 element and a Top Gun stall just like Twisted Colossus, which all look amazing. And I think that Walibi Holland already looks like one of the best parks in Europe, and with this addition coming soon, it just got even higher on my bucket list. Getting into the top 3, we have Siren's Curse coming to Cedar Point. And a quick note, when we talk about this coaster, we are basically talking about all the tilt coasters opening. So this also goes for Circuit Breaker and Iron Rattler. But I'm just going to be talking about Siren's Curse for now, because that's what I know most about. This will obviously be a tilt coaster, and man does it look freaky. Especially in the front row, it'll be a terrifying experience to just have the restraints keeping you from plummeting 100 feet downward. And the other forces on this ride also look spectacular. The airtime on the triple down and other moments look insane, and the inversions in the non-inverting loop look snappier than Maverick. And I think this coaster will have a problem though, with the amount of riders it gets. I think the GP will avoid this coaster and will deem it unsafe. But hey, that just means less lines for me. And I also was at first disappointed that it will have over-the-shoulder restraints, but after realizing that the hangover drop would just kind of dangle you there, I got over it. But overall, this and all the tilt coasters coming look great, and I can't wait to ride this thing in 2025. Now, for the number 2 spot, I have selected Stardust Racers, coming to the brand new Universal's Epic Universe. This will be one of the only high thrill coasters from Mach in the country, and I'm super excited for this. The theme on this ride is from Universal, so it will be world class, and I think that the colors perfectly match the Greek god Celestial Park theme. The airtime and forces also look insane, and the fact that it's dueling makes it 10 times better. The launches also look surprisingly good for a Mach coaster, so that's a huge plus. And since it's going to a Universal park, you know that they will have this thing dueling all the time, so that won't be an issue, like other dueling coasters. The trains are also magnificent, and if you get a look at pictures of this ride, you can really see how massive of a coaster this is. And not only is it big, it's a very long ride, with no dead spaces, which cannot be said for all long coasters. And overall, I don't think that a new Universal Park could have a better headliner than this. Now for my top spot, and this probably comes as no surprise, but our number 1 coaster coming in 2025 is Falcon Flight Super Coaster, coming to Six Flags Qiddiya. And just by hearing the name, you can probably tell that this is going to be a record breaker, and boy, you're right. Upon opening, this will be the tallest, fastest, and longest coaster ever built. And of course, it'll be made by none other than Intamin. One of the reasons I think that this ride is special is because of money. Before, when Intamin made their insane strata coasters, they only made them have a launch, top hat, and maybe an airtime hill before the brakes. This was because the parks bought these didn't have enough room to make a full layout. And these coasters are already super expensive, so adding a layout would be catastrophic for the park's wallet. But here, the city of Dubai is paying for the coaster and the whole park, so Intamin has the freedom and the land to go crazy. And this coaster will not only go 155 miles per hour, have 13,000 feet of track, and a 600-foot height, but will also have a full insane layout afterwards, full of airtime hills, sharp turns, and of course, incredible speed. I mean, if this camelback is taken as fast as the videos show, I think it has a shot of being one of the most sustained and best airtime moments in the world. So overall, this will be the king of all coasters, and is my most anticipated ride for 2025. Now, I know that there were some controversial picks for this video, so if you disagree with some of these placements, we would love if you would tell us your rankings of these coasters in the comments, or at least what your most anticipated coaster for next year is, because 2025 is looking to be a great year for coasters. And also, thank you guys so much for watching, and a like and subscribe would be appreciated. And as always, we will see you later. Peace!